Hello, beauty therapists. I was just over on my business page doing a skincare education live training, as I do every Tuesday. And often I kind of get into a bit of a video high and I kind of want to share and kind of just continue helping and sharing. And something just came to mind and kind of got me reflecting a little. And I kind of wanted to start a bit of a conversation because this is a really, really important topic. Now, this is the topic of struggles as a beauty therapist. I think beauty therapy gets sold as something completely different to what beauty therapy actually is. And think of Grease Lightning, beauty school dropout. We kind of get this idea before going into beauty. Like, I know I did anyways. It was like this industry where you're not using your brain and all these things. That was complete lies. You're kind of taught that it is an industry of glamour, of all these things, and it's not really true. And we all have these preconceived ideas, I suppose, of the industry, and you don't really know what it's like until you're in there doing the job role. And whether that's, whichever avenue you go with beauty, you could have your own set of struggles. So I'm here today to kind of start a conversation, and I want to know, what are your struggles? Because if you do have struggles, I'd love to get some, to help you in any way, and not just through me, because I'm not an expert in all fields of beauty, but actually creating some way to share information with you from perhaps an expert in our industry, or someone with the lived experience, or someone who has overcome their struggles and have now come out on the other end, and they're really just thriving and enjoying their career as a beauty therapist because they got past those struggles. But I know there is so many of you out there that are losing your passion because you're struggling in some way. Now, maybe I'll share some of mine here so you can kind of relate, and maybe that will bring something up for you, and maybe what I've done to overcome that, or my thoughts around it, will help you. But definitely, please pop in the comments your personal struggles. I would really love to hear them, and hopefully get them answered for you so you can implement them into your life, so you can kind of avoid burnout and not loving life as much. So my personal struggles with the beauty industry, I mean, there's all different kinds, but if I was to be really, really honest, it's definitely the personal, kind of the physical burnout and the emotional burnout. Now, I am quite an emotional woman, and I do have quite a, I'm tough, I'm strong, I just want to help, all these things. But sometimes I'm not aware of actually how much social interaction really, really drains me. Now, on the retrospect, we've also got the physical exertion. Now, I'm not unfit, or maybe a little bit, but I'm not overweight, and I'm not struggling to get around. I'm walking around all the time. I can run if I wanted to. I don't, but I could do these things. But even though I have physical strength, this job is very physical. And if you're doing repetitive tasks like massage all day, I just absolutely can't do it. It's something I struggle with. There's only so many treatments you can physically do in a day, and if you were to just think about physical, that's a lot. And then you kind of double that with the emotional capacity of talking with people and listening and sharing that kind of energetic connection with someone. That takes energy, and that takes a toll on you, and that is a struggle. And it's very kind of like, where do we find the balance? you know where is that fine balance, kind of like a tightrope? Where can we kind of draw the line of what's too much, what's not enough, and how can we kind of, I guess, get the most out of what we're doing every day? So for me, finding those personal boundaries and kind of working through that struggle of physical exertion and emotional exhaustion and depletion as a beauty therapist, I had to find where my limits were. So I actually became a remedial massage therapist, just out of pure interest in the body as well. And I found when I went into the massage industry and I was doing more than 3 or 4 or sometimes 5 or 6 or 7 massages in a day, and I'm doing that the next day, and then I'm doing that the next day, I found that honestly, at the end of the week, I had nothing left. It would get to, honestly, I couldn't function. I turned into a bit of a zombie, I think, and it just wasn't possible. I was kind of realizing things were getting really stiff and sore, and so I had to find those personal boundaries. And I know what my sweet spot is now. I can't do massage all day. I don't think anyone should, or I don't think it's smart to do that. Some people can, and that's totally fine, but that's my boundary, and I have to set 2 or 3 massages a day max. Any more and I'm going to cause harm to myself. So that's how I work through that personal struggle. When it comes to other physical kind of bits to do with the industry, I realized that I didn't want to be bending over all the time. I didn't want to be moving around too much and putting myself at risk of injury. So I naturally went towards services where I would be in good, safe positions. And so I do skin a lot now. It's my main service. And that for me is really good on my body. And I own my own business. So I purchased a really amazing chair. I've set up my workspace ergonomically, and I've kind of prevented extra physical exertion in that way by kind of optimizing my environment, optimizing my services, and keeping a good kind of bodily movement, and kind of optimizing how long my day goes as well. So on the emotional side and that struggle, which I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with, I think it's just this industry attracts a lot of giving, kind people who really just want to help. And that comes with the ability, maybe it's more of a weakness. It's also a big superpower, but it's that kind of giving too much. And you find it hard to kind of know when to say no, and know when you're giving too much and you're not protecting your own energy. So you can become really emotionally drained as a beauty therapist. So what I've had to do, oh, gosh, it's been endless learning opportunities, but I just had to find what my balance was. Toning down my energy, sometimes I can get really high energy and I'm like, yeah. And sometimes I have to bring it down, and I have to use a soft voice, and sometimes I have to limit the amount I allow a conversation to go on. So, I mean, when I come on here, I'm always talking. You probably think this girl never shuts up. But that is kind of not true when it comes to the industry. I'm actually generally just listening to people and asking questions. So it's kind of like the energy is coming towards you. So it's about kind of finding when you can kind of, when someone's trying to take too much energy, and it's not their fault. That's just the things they're going through. And you can kind of find where your boundaries are. That's kind of what I had to do in that respect. So they're probably 2 of my biggest struggles with the industry, and finding balance and finding ways to nourish my my emotional side, and coming to work in a more balanced way, so then I can take on those interactions in a much more healthier way. It's more effective for me, and it's more effective for the client. So they're my personal struggles. I'm sure you guys have dealt with them before, but I would love to hear your struggles, so we can talk about it, so we can discuss it. Because, if we're not talking about it and we're not doing something about it, it's going to get to a time where you either injure yourself, you resent your job, you hate your job, you hate your clients, you just hate life, and, there's no point in doing this job. And perhaps if you can't leave it and it's your only income, you're becoming, someone that you would rather not be, and you're like questioning why you're in the industry. So don't let that become you. Let's work on these struggles now so we can, so you can have a good, fulfilling life and feel really happy about your job. I really want to help you all with that. So please share your struggles below, and I will see if I can get in touch with someone in that field of expertise, or maybe I'll answer it myself. It can be about business in the beauty industry. It can be about maybe about your team. Maybe you're a business owner and you have a team. Maybe that's about the services you provide. Maybe it's about education. Maybe it's about networking. Maybe it's just accounting. I don't know. Maybe it's the income that you earn, or whatever. I want to hear it. It can be funny as well. I love funny comments. They're always good. So I hope you guys all have an awesome night and you engage in some conversation in here. And I'll be here again soon sharing some more helpful pieces of advice, because I am pretty dedicated to this cause. I'm just going to add this in at the end. I am pretty dedicated to, I guess my goal, just to let you all know, is to really raise the standards of the industry. And I really want to help beauty therapists like you guys to just live your best life as a beauty therapist and really value your job and value your life and your career, and kind of just getting the most out of it. So that's why I do these videos. That's why I'm here showing up and sharing all of this. So definitely take advantage of my passion at the moment. It's been around for a while, and I'm probably not going to stop. I want to get in amongst you and help as much as I can, because I think this is an amazing industry with so many opportunities, and you can just go in all these different directions and have a life full of creativity and passion and all of that. And I just want to help bring that to you on this platform. So lovely to talk with you all, and we'll speak soon. Bye.